Tough questions, new insights, diverse perspectives. Welcome to Questions of the Day with Fanuel Muindi.
Hey, I'm so excited to be joined today by Dr. Roopali Chaudhary, the founder of Lotus STEM. And if you don't know about Lotus STEM, I encourage you to click the link below and go and learn about what they do. She joined me, now get this, 3 years ago on SciTV to talk about some of their SciComm work with relevance to COVID at that time. So, well, she's back. And this time we're talking about a recent event that just took place, the Degrees of Success that Lotus STEM hosted. Roopali, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me again.
So just to set the stage a little bit here. So we at SciTV think a lot about civic science. And for those who don't know, so civic science, this is the constellation of North Stars around civic science. It's about broadening participation in STEM, combating misinformation, building trust, and all these other elements that encompass this goal of connecting science and society. And Lotus STEM, I believe, is at the heart of that as well as an organization that is engaging young South Asian women specifically in STEM and trying to encourage them to explore STEM. And the Degrees of Success is an event to that end, right? Specifically, Roopali, tell us more about this event and how it came about.
Sure. So actually, Degrees of Success, we started this back in 2020, and we were supposed to have our first conference before the world shut down. So a week before our conference, the world shut down, and we had to shift to make it a virtual conference. The idea of the conference has always been to have families come in for hands-on activities. And in 2020, we were all figuring out how to do hands-on activities online. But we've been wanting to have parents see, what do we mean by hands-on activities? Have young girls express their interests in different fields, and then use that as an opportunity to also have youth speakers that talk about their experiences in STEM as they navigate their careers as well. So at the end of the day, when we talk about success, there are many levels of success. And for youth, for us, it's really important that when we talk about these degrees of success, it is more so of ensuring that we're giving the platform to you to talk about navigating the field, giving the platform to parents to talk about how they're supporting youth or their own children in navigating STEM fields, especially parents are not from the specific field itself, and also providing the opportunity to do hands-on activities and exploring more than what they may have in the classroom.
Yeah, and we're talking about 1 week after the event. Is that right? Roughly speaking.
Yes, actually 1 week today.
1 week today to that moment. So thank you so much for joining us, because this is where we love to get you at those early stages as you're thinking about the impact that it's had, right?
Yes.
You brought up families, and I think this is an important point that we should talk more about, and specifically because in one of the I think participants really mentioned on LinkedIn were saying, you know, my mom, and this is Sushita Srinivasan, talked about the opportunity to speak at the conference, and I think this idea of family, right? Let's talk more about that, right? Because she mentioned our STEM journey as a mother and daughter duo and the roadblocks we have been through together, right? And in the event, in the conference schedule, you mentioned families are engaged, right? Not impacting the students, but also their families. Talk to me more about the focus on families.
Absolutely. So when we talk about families, we know families play an integral part when it comes to youth deciding what are they going to do with their career. For families, for parents, they are really focused on ensuring that their children are going to grow up into successful citizens of the world, essentially. But success looks very different for parents. Kids are usually not thinking about like what is going to be a stable career for me. They're just like, I want to try and see what's fun. Parents are really more trying to think about, well, how do we take this passion, this fun, and ensure that we can provide the support to make sure that this will become a career for them that is meaningful to the child as well. So when we say we're engaging families, a lot of families that we're engaging are ones that do not necessarily have a background in STEM, or they have a background in STEM, but they don't know how to instill that passion in their children as well. So with degrees of success, having families come, having parents get an idea of hands-on activities, having them try it out, and maybe even jog a little bit of their own memory of how they may have done this in grade school, things that they have forgotten since, reminding them that they're still using science in their day-to-day lives as well, and giving an opportunity for the parents to see that curiosity develop in the kids. This is how they can really foster the children as they go into STEM fields. And it's an opportunity for them to talk to one another about what support system do they need to instill that their children have.
And of course, this is not a lonely endeavor. You have a team behind you, right? You mentioned there's all team volunteers. What has that meant for you to have a team like supporting this and continuing it to grow? Because it's hard to do this, right? And to host these events.
Absolutely. It takes a village to make sure it comes together. And the team has been so committed. A number of them, they were actually hired as summer students, and they worked beyond when their contract ended and continue to work even now, and they want to continue doing this. And then, of course, there's the board of directors as well that tirelessly commit time to ensure that this goes through. What it has meant for me, oh my gosh. The first time I put a call out for volunteers was back in 2019, and was absolutely amazed that people, A, understood or related to the mission of Lotus STEM, and B, did want to volunteer their time, because time is precious for everyone. And the fact that people want to take their free time and commit it to something that they really believe in has meant the world to me. So I've only watched Lotus STEM grow in the last 5 years through all of the commitment that we've had. And now we are starting to get approached by younger volunteers who are looking to perhaps start Lotus STEM chapters in their schools. So that's another amazing growth that is coming solely by volunteer-driven activities.
What are you thinking about the growth of the organization overall?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. This is something that the board and I have been continually discussing. What is the next 5 years going to look like? Our focus is going to be a little bit of internal structurization as well. I was not trained as an entrepreneur. I'm learning entrepreneurship while being an entrepreneur. So it's something that we're trying to instill, that we have some good, strong foundational structures in place. So that's going to be one aspect of focus. Another area of focus that we're going to be doing more so is ensuring that we're increasing that visibility as well. So while outreach is happening, we need to make sure that we have sufficient mentors. We have a collection of research papers by South Asian female authors being put through a Canadian journal as well right now. So we're really continually trying to push this and do more evaluation of where is that impact. We're researchers at heart. We need to do a lot more of that. And finally, the growth it's going to be in terms of fundraising and providing more employment opportunities within Lotus STEM as well for women that come from the field, and probably are trying to look to get back into the field too. So we're exploring a few of these options.
Yeah, and our audience primarily are these leaders of other organizations and civic science agents. So I think there's so many nuggets in there, right, for collaboration with you, whether it's fundraising, whether it's the research side, which we did not talk about, and I know you guys do that.
Yes.
How to do that, evaluation, right, and also the partnerships that you're developing, because again, this is not a lonely endeavor. You're bringing people together, right, to fund this, to sponsor it, and it takes a village to do this, as you said. Roopali Chaudhary, thank you so much for stopping by. We need to have you back, and not in like a 3-year time span, but sooner than that, okay?
Sounds great.
Until next time, Sci TV.